Everything is experiential. They don't. A shaman usually doesn't do what I'm doing right now in Peru. If you would go, they don't talk a lot, and if they do, it's in Quechua or in Spanish. And so you have to extrapolate a lot. That's why it's lovely to have teachers that come here that can interpret for us. And so these are cloths that come from Peru.
Oh my goodness!
And they represent many things. We could go on for 3 hours, but not the 4 directions, but the 4 regions. But that's another story. And
regions?
The 4 regions.
Oh,
There's very Suyus, they're called. The way the empire was designated, and it depended on where you were, in the jungle, by the ocean, on the Altiplano, if you were in the highlands.
Oh, I see.
So they all had certain energies. And in this work, I've switched things around here. I have directions, so to speak. So what these represent are various, usually there's a lot of kuyas, or stones, and these stones represent something to us, either because of when they were found, how they were found, what the circumstances were, what we were going through at the time, or what they tell us. And very often it's when we sit with our stones, they actually talk to us about what energies they hold.
So you have, what is this little...
This is, somebody gave me, I use, this is my pendulum. And frogs,
frog.
And frogs are very important in Peru. They are considered, two of the animals, animales, have souls, frogs and dogs. For cat people, this is somewhat distressing, but we don't talk about that. Again, and so, and this is a bell, and this is the way we bring energy to the mesa, and also we use the spit water to feed the mesa. And so we say we source a lot of our wisdom from these. In other words, they say that in the mountains resides they call them apacunas, or spirits, spirits of the mountains. And the spirits of the mountains are those that hold the wisdom that has been generated over the eons of time. And the kuyas, the stones, of course, have been here the longest.
Right.
So they have impregnated energetically all of the wisdom of the world, and specifically those that come to you hold particular wisdom for you, teachings for you.
I've always thought that. I have a house full of rocks.
Well, most people, and you look at kids, they always do.
Yeah.
The kids are always with their stones. They just are
This is an
gravitating.
interesting one. It's almost like a miniature megalith, or not megalith, tall standing stone.
Obelisk.
Obelisk, thank you.
And for me, it was the Madonna.
Oh, lovely.
Or the goddess. And so.
And then you have a.
And I actually have a white Tara.
Tara.
Who's also very important in my work. So, and then some of this was found with the Huicholi people in Puerto Vallarta area.
Oh, it's very polished.
And it's the face of jaguar.
Oh.
So this is my jaguar stone. This was found so many years ago, I don't even know. And look at the dancing figure.
Oh, can you hold that up to this camera here?
This camera. Little figure in it. And for me, it is the spirit dancer, the one that dances between the worlds. So each one of these represents something very significant and important. And in my work, I use these to help me and support me also in my healing work. This is my keystone, and this is those things that represent my connection to spirit, in particular how I relate to spirit. And so they're very, very, very sacred to me. And they were given to me by people. For example, my first teacher, our work was the path, which was, of course, the chakras.
Oh.
And so
are those glass or they're semi-precious stones?
Semi-precious stones. And it was my idea to put them on this kind of a device so we would meditate with them, basically. And, of course, the pyramid representing something of the... So as you can see, we have Egypt represented. We have many. Here, this is very typical. Of course, they're very connected to the Christian tradition, that is, since the Spaniards came. Ironwood is something that's for protection, and this is made out of ironwood. So this is also a lot of protection.
You have a seashell, you have
where is my
stones? It looks like some marble or...
This was, this was given to me by a shaman. It's very, ivory? Very significant. It's a tile, though I don't think, it's not ivory. It's, but I'm not sure what material it is.
It looks like it might be marble.
Yeah, probably marble. And these are Wairuru beads. These are for protection also. Very interesting. One is a male and one is a female. So it's always about balance. This is, what do they call these? The stones. The names are gone.
A Shiva Lingam.
Shiva Lingam, thank you. And representing, again, the masculine and the feminine. And this was my St. Michael medal. Michael is my, well, this is probably who knows what, is my benefactor I'm connected with. And someone gave me this as a heart. And this was given to me by a young man in Peru just before I left on my first trip. This is Viracocha, the creator spirit. And he represents of many things, but he has feathered serpent, and serpent is very important. Many serpents, you'll see this in the tradition of India, where they have the array of serpents above the head. Right. This always represents wisdom. And you can see that there is a lineage that goes way back. And they say, well, anyway, this gentleman gave it to me, and his name is Michael. So naturally, this is so important to me. But there is, in their tradition, they talk about originating in Lemuria. And I have always been connected to Lemuria. So for the people who don't know about it, was the first, you might say, spiritual center. And from there came Atlantis. Atlantis was a subsidiary, but Lemuria was the original. And in their traditions, they talk about themselves coming from or originating, because the Andean tradition is very new compared to some of the others, but they base all of their traditions on the older tradition. You know, some of the older tribes. Now, of course, the names are not there, but they'll come. But
that's all right.
But if you go back, you'll see that there are many much older tribes, and they will say that they have.
Yes, I think I read recently that there have even been some new discoveries about civilizations that are older than they even thought possible.
Right.